Hi guys, doing the vlog challenge again today. Had an interesting day at uni with our PPP class, which is going to be run by Teresa Izzard and has a lot of familiar faces, but has some few or two new ones in particular. That's Jasmine Holmes, who I haven't worked with before, and also a new girl called Jessica, who was really interesting in her thoughts about basically um, well, I suppose it's not worth going into, but let's focus on what I was looking at today was, I think in a way, a lot of our behavior styles are seen as polygamous in a lot of different ways. If you look at these people that have um this personality type where they always look to others and they're always saying, "Oh, I wish I was that person. I wish I was so smart like that person. I wish I was so much fun like that person. Or I wish I was so driven like that person." And we always do it. We always think that the other person's life is so much better than ours, and we always want that. We have this yearning for what the other person wants in some way. But what we don't realize is that when that person is so educated or that person is so smart, it takes it a little bit away from the sense of fun that they have, or a little bit of away from the sense of urgency that they have, and this person may be really purposeful and driven and action driven, but he doesn't have a sense of, he loses the sense of the people around him and his people agreement skills, or the person may be really interesting and really fun and good looking, but they don't have that sense of that fun and drive and career prospect in their lives, right? And I think it's an ideal which we always want to keep in our heads, but we could actually possibly learn a lot from the dinosaurs, right? Because them as being the preeminent and ultimate alpha beings of the earth for millions and millions of years, right? They were obviously doing something right. If I was a dinosaur, I would say, "Look, hey, I found a new patch of grass. Okay, I'm going to eat it now. You can join me when I say so, right? Because you're quite handsome, I think. Okay? And then after that, we'll be watching my favourite films, Jurassic Park 1, 3, and then 4, in that order, but not 2, because it doesn't have Sam Neill in it, right?" you know, they were obviously doing something right there, because, yeah, I just think that they were obviously so successful and so intelligent, so incredibly powerful on this earth, as in that position that they were for millions and millions of years. Also, I looked at this video by Russell Brand, who was talking about one particular theory that Joseph Campbell talked about in his books on mythology. Joseph Campbell was a mythologian and a studier of myths and stories and the legends that each of the different places of the earth had, and he travelled throughout the world and looked at all the different stories and saw what was similar to them, what was the similar vein, what was something which kept all of them together and alive, and also he was the things which kept them different and separated them, and what made them differ, what made them tick. And noticing one thing in particular, he said that Western philosophy for a very long time has looked at a particular narrative of the hero character, right? So we have this ideal of a man who lived 2,000 years ago, and the ultimate redemption will be coming from our re-emulation of the way that he lived and the way that he did things, and that is the ideal set of values that we must keep for ourselves, and that is the ticket to the kingdom of heaven. Whereas in Eastern philosophy and the very traditional Eastern philosophies, the things which happened and the things which a man did 2,000 years ago are important and are valid for his time, but the omnipotence and the ever-present being which we would consider God is ultimately drawn from within us, and our ability to connect with that, to connect with the omnipotent and providence and the God which is the ultimate life force of the universe, that comes within us. The ultimate challenge is not whether we can tap into the external forces, but if we can tap into the omnipotence and the ever-present universal force of our life, and that is going to come from us, because omnipotence and God is within us, and we have to expose that, and we have to understand that, and we need to bring that out of us. It's not us externalizing and bringing that from out of things. It's something which comes from within us, and we need to bring out. And that is the difference in major part from Western philosophies, which looks at the ways that a man lived 2,000 years ago, and Eastern philosophy, which looks at the way that the kingdom of heaven will come from within us ultimately and lead us down the path towards that ultimate goal. So yeah, that's it. Thanks.